Jennifer Murphy, founder of GoGirl Worldwide, and I'm here with Dr. Laura Capina in the GoGirl Worldwide studios, and I am so excited to talk about your amazing product, Synerchii. You are the founder, creator, the GoGirl behind this incredible product that I love and would not want to live without. In fact, it makes me live a better life every day. So thank you so much for inventing it.
Oh, thank you for having me, first of all. And I'm just so excited that you enjoy it. It's been a long process to create it, and it's something so special. And I'm just so excited to share.
Well, I can't wait for all of the Go Girls out there and the Go Guys too to learn about why Synerchii is so necessary for our brains, for our body, for our health, and it happens to taste delicious. So we'll talk about all of that. But first I want to learn a little bit more about you and where you're from and how you became this amazing doctor that you are. So where did you grow up?
So I was born and grew up in Latvia. And Latvia is a small little country in Northeast Europe. And it was part of Soviet Union when I grew up. So I definitely saw what communism is like, and it's not good. And but what was nice, I was a little kid, little girl, so I didn't really, I wasn't into politics then. I was just enjoying all the nature that has to offer, and there's so many beautiful natural things and natural herbs, and I just grew up in this. I never saw obese people or allergies. I never heard, like one child in our school had an allergy, never. And when I came to the United States, I was like, what is going on here?
Allergies everywhere.
Everywhere. How can you be, I think they're pretending. How can you be allergic to nuts? They're healthy,
Wow, so you came to the US and you thought, this is not a healthy lifestyle like I grew up. What's going on here? But then from there, you went where? To India, correct?
Yes, so I moved to California. I had a girlfriend living in Los Angeles, and I just was gonna stay maybe 6 months to maximum a year. I couldn't speak any English, so I learned, English, and I was living in Los Angeles, and I liked it, and I run into celebrities, and then I was modeling for a little bit and just enjoying this amazing life, and I was like, ooh, I'm kind of don't want to go back yet. Maybe I'll go back in a couple years, and living, this in the spotlight. And then when I was 23, I went to India, and that trip changed my life. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. How did it change your life?
So first of all, it's a country of contrast. It's just so poor and so rich. There is no middle. And during the day we are seeing these people just laying in the streets, and they have nothing. They don't even have a toothbrush, and they happy. I look at them and they are smiling. And I'm like, whoa, why are they so happy? Like, I was like, I need to understand. Like in America, everybody's on Prozac, and there they have nothing and they're happy. And then at night I see this richness. So it was, it was the shock, it's the biggest shock, and we went to this wedding, and we saw, like, it was very wealthy people who got married, and so there was diamonds everywhere, and golden carriages, and elephant rides, and horse rides, and camel rides. It was just so. I never seen so rich, and I never seen so poor. And so when I came back to California, I was never the same. I was just like, I need to study Asian philosophy. I started reading all the books, like Hinduism, Buddhism. Why are they all so happy? I want to understand it. I want to study all this. And then a friend of mine sent me an article on Chinese medicine, and it's based on Asian philosophy, but you can actually heal people. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So that's when I decided to study Chinese medicine and acupuncture. And I also got into Kundalini Yoga. So I'm a Kundalini Yoga teacher as well. It's a kind of a spiritual kind of yoga. So it's beautiful, a lot of meditation. And so I was meditating for days and very into all that stuff.
So you're like a walking dictionary when it comes to science, when it comes to herbs and wellness. And I love Chinese herbs, by the way. I have worked with a nutritionist in the past, Diane Kaiser, who helped me get over toxic mold exposure, and those Chinese herbs played such a key role. So I don't really understand how it all works, but can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so Chinese herbs, obviously it's herbology in Chinese medicine is the biggest and most serious division. Acupuncture is smaller, and then there is other things, cupping and electroacupuncture. But herbs are so powerful, and there is such a powerful herbs, like the top herbs like ginseng, astragalus, rhodiola, medicinal mushrooms like reishi and cordyceps. And when you take these herbs, there is nothing more powerful. Like it will really make your body so strong. They're good for immune system, anti-cancer, and they're just so beautiful. So I take a lot of these herbs regularly. Yeah,
it's wonderful. We don't hear enough conversation about some of these natural remedies that are far better than popping pills and some of the things that traditional medicine teaches.
And most of the pills originally the idea or the chemical structure comes from these natural things, but what happens is you can't patent a herb. Okay. You can't say this is my turmeric or this is my reishi mushroom.
Nature owns it.
Yeah, right? God, nature. And so what pharmaceutical companies do, they take and they see how this works and how this works in a nature, and they make a synthetic version of it, and now they can patent, and now they can make billions of dollars, and usually has side effects. But natural things always work, always.
Well, I grew up out in the country. I'm second to the oldest of 12 kids. I think that you know that. And my mom always just, gave us lots of herbs and lots of organic food and whole foods, and so we grew up pretty healthy. It was rare that we got sick. So I am all about natural and using nature, and I just love that there are some brilliant doctors like you that can help those of us that we don't really know the details, and that's okay, right? As long as we can listen to you, can learn from you, and take your advice. Now, something that you've shared with me in one of our conversations is that you were at a lecture once with this brilliant doctor, and he said there's thousands and thousands of things out there that are good for you, right? But why don't you just narrow it down? Let's just talk about the top 10 things, and let's just focus on and make sure that you get those. But you went a step further, and you then brought it further, even more focused into a few things that are just so powerful and so good for you and so needed. So that is what brought you to Synerchii.
Yeah. So I've been very blessed with several incredibly powerful mentors in my life. And so some of these few mentors are just so brilliant, and I've been learning all my life, right? So like growing up in Latvia and like being exposed to all the herbs and natural stuff there, and then coming here and seeing how sick people are and the bees and allergies, and then meeting these mentors and then learning these brilliant things, and then my schooling, and I got my PhD in Chinese medicine, and I have all this foundational stuff. But what these mentors did, it was like putting puzzle pieces together. It's interesting because there is all the information out there, but nobody knows anything actually. It's funny. It's like, oh, is salt good or bad? Is coffee good or bad? Are fats good or bad? It's just unbelievable. So these mentors helped me put these puzzle pieces together. Yes, so there are thousands of substances on this earth, but there is some are just more powerful than others. Like there's a lot of berries, but goji berry, for example, is much more powerful than strawberry. They both are red, and nature gives you clues. So red means it's very good for blood. It has a lot of iron, right? So nature always gives us clues. But there is some things just have more nutrients than other things. So why not to take those things?
Right.
And so I learned also from my very dear mentor, Dr. Bob Marshall, this very specific testing that I do. It's called QRA, quantum reflex analysis, and it's testing different points, actually all the organ and gland points in a body, and they are all based on acupuncture meridians. And when it's a type of muscle test or kinesiological test. And when you test these points and see where the weaknesses are and what the body is missing, and then you learn what the basics are and what we really need. And yes, there is actually few things that are basics. Like we can take a lot or little, as long as they are in natural. But we actually don't need to take so many. We just there is few basics that body needs that absolutely can't function without.
And one of them is fat, right? Healthy fat. Some people try and do a fat-free diet. They want to lose weight. They don't want fat. That's not the right way to go.
No, definitely. And especially in some circumstances, you need these kind of fats even more. You know, like for example, when children don't get these healthy fats, it's really horrible because their brains are growing, you know, or pregnant women, you know, or nursing moms, or older people, their brains are declining, so they need these healthy fats. So yes, we all need them for sure. You know, healthy fats in the natural forms. Nothing wrong with that.
Right. And what does healthy fats do for you?
So we are obviously mostly water, our body, and minerals, right? Water and minerals. But we have some fatty parts, you know, like brain is about 70-80% fat, eyes, heart, liver, kidneys, and actually every single cell membrane in our body. So these fats, so whatever we eat is gonna make these fat, like whatever fat you put in your mouth is gonna, that's what your body is going to be made of, right? You are what you eat.
Right.
So when you, it's like when you go, let's say you buy a beautiful brand new Ferrari, and you go to a gas station, and every time you put like the worst gas, or like let's say it needs gas, but you put diesel every time. What's going to happen? You know, you're going to ruin the engine, right?
Or it needs oil and you forget to put the oil.
Yeah. Oh, it starts smoking. Exactly. And we are kind of the same way. And right now we actually need more than ever because we have so much to process. You know, it's so interesting. They say that somebody 100 years ago, today we have to process as much information in one day as they did in a whole lifetime.
Wow. Just because we're bombarded with the media and with technology.
They didn't have computers or anything. They heard somebody got married, you know, next village, you know, once in 2 months, something happened. And now it's like you look in your phone, like you get, you know, what's happening in the world, what all your friends are doing. And
so
like
that
all your
processing
emails.
Takes energy from your brain.
And nutrients.
Yeah.
So what nutrients you're gonna put in? So if you eat hamburgers and French fries, that's what this is gonna fat you're providing into your body. Is it gonna function really good? Probably not. You know, and then there is definitely the same, like, you know, berries come in different categories, the same fats come in different categories, and anything in life. So what I tell my patients is always, you know, just start upgrading. You know, it's like people say, so what should I eat? And I'm like, you know, I have to see where they're at.
Right.
You know, if somebody just all he eats is French fries, and I'm like, go on superfoods, make smoothies with spirulina and maca and hemp seeds, and just like go, you know, a bunch of juices, and don't eat, intermittent fasting, don't eat for 10 hours.
They'll say, forget it.
Yeah, they'll be like, she's nuts, you know. So I have to see where they're at and start upgrading, you know. If you eat white bread, you know, maybe eat, you know, whole grain bread. If you eat whole grain bread, start eating sprouted, organic, you know, there's actually flourless kind of bread.
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free, and exactly. So it's like, it's all about upgrading. It's always just start choosing higher quality things with everything.
And be open to learning new things. Be open to watching, you know, we watch so much, you know, content these days. Watch some educational videos. You know, put in, you know, some topics that you want to learn about and learn.
Open-mindedness is very attractive and very important, and so many people are not.
Well, let's talk specifically about Synerchii and about the ingredients that you decided to put together, how unique they are, how it's different than fish oil. I know I've tried to take fish oil because I know I've heard it's good for me. I need it, especially as a woman, and I'll take it. And even when it's supposed to have a different taste, a fruity taste, there's that underlying fishy that I have a hard time taking it. when I went to take Synerchii, it is so yummy. Oh my goodness. But I love how you describe how it works with your body and the way that it, the delivery system.
Yes.
So let's talk about the specifics of
Yes. So first of all, what I learned from one of my mentors, and just all these years of studying that omega-3 DHA, which is known as, most people know it as fish oil, but I'll explain it in a second, but it's the most important thing. Number one nutrient that we are all missing, right?
Okay.
So when I find out that, I was like, okay, so we need DHA. So there is 3 omega-3s, ALA, EPA, DHA, and the DHA is the one that we need for our
DHA.
brain.
Okay.
Yeah, and ALA you can get from plants, EPA, DHA you can't.
Okay.
So it only comes from the ocean, either from fish or from algae. So when I learned that, I was like, okay, so fish is first of all, very contaminated.
Right.
Super. You can't. They distill it, they clean it. They can't.
There's still the metals in it.
Yes, and microplastics. Like plastics is one thing, but there's tiny little microplastics, like tiny little needles that you can't get out. There is heavy metals, mercury. There is nuclear waste. There is so much nuclear radiation in our oceans nowadays because of the Fukushima nuclear plant in Japan, and just a lot of radioactive stuff. So all that stuff. So fish gets its omegas from algae. Algae is the beginning of algae.
Source.
Is the source of this planet. It's actually, if you think about it, it's like genetic code of this earth. It's amazing. Not about 80 to 90% of oxygen we breathe comes from these tiny little algae, not from trees.
Wow.
Like a lot of people don't know that.
Well, you don't think about it because it's under the water, under the ocean.
Yes, so algae, together with when sun hits it, it produces these nutrients, and the DHA is the nutrient produces, and then little krill eats the algae, and bigger fish eat the krill, and bigger fish and goes off the food chain. And as they go up the food chain, it has chance to accumulate a lot of crap. And humans are also at the end of the food chain, so we accumulate a lot of crap. So that's why it's very important to detoxify. And,
Get that crap out.
Yes, get that, spit it out.
Poop it out.
Yes, from every angle.
Yes. So, and then you take the DHA from the algae,
Yes.
which you get the best of the best.
Yes. So that's the purest source, right? So the way Synerchii is different is because it's such a fragile. So DHA omega-3 oils are the most fragile oils. Like it starts with these, and then it goes like, thicker oils. That's why you're not supposed to cook with olive oil, for example, because under high heat, when something breaks down, it becomes carcinogenic to us. So we are supposed to cook. If you do cook, you cook in a high fat, whether either it's coconut oil or ghee or butter, or even in old times they used to cook in lard, And so more thinner the oil, more fragile it is. So DHA is the most fragile oil. It's the most precious. So that's the reason why most companies, they put them in soft gels to preserve these oils. So they put this rancid fish oil in these soft gels. Soft gels are made of gelatin, which is basically all the worst animal parts, all the animal part leftovers, and they add these gums, because it's a gummy, right? So they add all this guar gum and carrageenan and all this gum. So when we swallow the soft gel, so depends on what age you are. As you get older, our body doesn't really make enough stomach acid anymore, so we can't really break them down anyways. So it's very hard to break down. And the third problem is that the oils are actually not absorbable because we are mostly water. So when I started looking for something from algae, not in a soft gel, and actually absorbable, there is nothing on the market.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, so I never thought I'm just going to heal people. I never thought I'm actually going to make supplements.
But you found this void in something that is so important, so crucial, the most important thing.
So when you look at number one supplement sold in the United States, it's fish oil. Number two is D3. Okay, so imagine it's the number one supplement sold, but it's not in a good form.
And they haven't combined them before, the two together, correct?
Yeah, there is some, like for example, like cod liver oil or something
okay.
actually contains D3. So what they haven't combined together is my second supplement, which is the Special E, and that's the magical one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yes.
What makes it magical?
So there is only one family of antioxidants capable of residing our cell membranes, okay? So it's the vitamin E family, it's the tocochromanol family. So vitamin E is so magical, and they most of it that's sold is synthetic form. Okay, so a lot of vitamins come in synthetic forms. So synthetic E actually can cause cancer in a higher amounts.
Wow.
So we should never take synthetic vitamins. It's like it's really bad for us. So the delta tocotrienol form of vitamin E only comes from in a higher amounts is only found in one plant in the world.
Wow.
It's in Amazon jungle. It's called annatto. And so they extract this. So, vitamin E is like when you buy food and supplements, it always says vitamin E added for freshness because it protects the fats from oxidation. We're supposed to put vitamin E on our skin because it protects the fats. So imagine when you take the most powerful form inside, what it does is it regenerates our cell, actually all our blood vessels.
Wow.
So it's the most famous. It's for cardiovascular disease. So it lowers cholesterol. It repairs our blood vessels. It protects our cell membranes. It makes our cell membranes very, very strong. So this combination, the omega-3 DHA, which actually our cell membranes are made of, should be made of, and this antioxidant that protects them from breaking down is the most brilliant combination because more stronger our cell membranes, more healthier we will be. Because what happens is like viruses and chemicals are not going to be able to penetrate inside and take over our nucleus as easily, as they are when they are damaged.
So you're providing the nutrients and protecting all at the same time.
Exactly. And what another problem, I mean, there's many problems in the world right now, but one very big thing is radiation and these 5G cell phone towers, very damaging to our cell membranes. And what happens in our body starts forming blood clots. So like the blood starts sticking together. So what vitamin E thins our blood. So it prevents from blood clots. So they say before going in surgery, they say don't take aspirin or don't take vitamin E because both of those thin your blood. But aspirin, causes stomach ulcers and has a lot of side effects. And this form of vitamin E, does the same things but doesn't have the side effects.
Really good for you. And there are other things right now causing a lot more blood clots in people than ever. So I mean, this is something that is more timely than it ever could have been.
Yeah, I can't even believe this timing,
Right.
It's like when I learned everything about this special form of vitamin E, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like cardiovascular disease is number one killer, everybody needs it. It's also, there's so many other things it does as well. It's, I don't want to make too many claims.
Right.
It's really magical. But then when I, made this supplement, and then all the situation started in the last year with all this COVID and everything, and now it's like more important than ever. I can, the timing is perfect.
Well, I think God sent as an angel in you because, the timing, I think things happen for a reason. You were already formulating it and working with your partner, and you've launched this incredible brand, and people need this food for their heart, for their soul, for their body and spirit. I mean, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to take care of our families, our parents, our children, our loved ones.
But that it starts with you.
Right.
You see, this is what people don't understand. They try to take care of everybody else, and they're exhausted and sick, and they just run themselves down. You always start with you. You are your number one priority.
Moms especially need to start with them. And I mean, you are a mother, you're a single mother, you work in the wellness clinic. I've seen how busy you are. you have patients all day long going, but you take the time to do your hot yoga, you get all of your healthy, regimen, and, you take care of yourself.
It's all about the balance, the whole basis of Chinese medicine is yin and yang balance. And yin and yang is like, it's the opposites, but they can't exist without each other. It's like day and night, and sun and moon, and men and women, and hot and cold, and it's all about, the opposites, and they always have to be in balance. That's how I see if somebody comes in China, Chinese medicine is like, okay, you have too much heat. What do? You cool it down, and people don't understand that balance is everything,
Right.
So you have to balance your life, you have to heal yourself first, and then you're going to be able to take care of other people, and we need, this is right now, please everybody, just like really start taking care of yourselves on every level, physical, emotional, spiritual, and let's start, and then we're going to be able to bring out the light and bring out this love and healing energy that the planet needs right now.
Absolutely. Very well said. I love it. And I love your energy, and you're just so beautiful inside and out, and brilliant. Let's talk about how you take Synerchii.
So it's super easy to take. It's super delicious. So we've just been so blessed. So like as I mentioned, it's all vegan, organic, the best quality. There's absolutely nothing bad added. Second of all, it's not in soft gels, it's liquid. Third of all, it's made into micelle. So micelle liposomal delivery is a very special technology how they emulsify these oils, because water and oil doesn't mix. So people take all these, whatever fish oil or any kind of oil or even D3, any kind of fat soluble vitamin or oils or MCT oils, and these oils just go through us. Literally, we maybe get about 5% of these oils in our body. And we're very lucky because our factory just have a way, they have all the technology how to emulsify these oils. And so micelle technology is these little nutrients get hold into these molecules of these tiny little nano-sized particles called micelles. And so when they enter our body, they bypass the harsh environment of our digestive tract, and also they become fully absorbable.
Nice.
And we'll show later how to do this.
I've heard of liposomal, some people haven't, and I've known that it really helps get the nutrients into the molecular cellular level, but to know that
is
micelle
one step above.
I love it.
It's even smaller molecule.
I love it.
Yeah.
Why not do it the best of the best?
Yeah, so it becomes about 95% absorbable versus
Amazing.
5. So you would have to take like 20, 30 bottles of fish or whatever versus one of these.
To get what you get in the
and
micelle
then you
delivery.
open a bottle, you have to keep in the refrigerator because the oils are very fragile, and then you can either squirt it on a spoon, and it's super delicious, and just eat it like that, or it tastes like dessert.
It's so yummy.
So yummy. You can also put it in your coffee. I love it on the bananas. You can put it on pancakes. Some people like to put it on ice cream. Like sometimes I buy like this vegan cashew ice cream, and I put that almond butter one on top, and it's just
In a smoothie.
so delicious. In a smoothie, and just so many applications. And you see, everybody needs these nutrients, but who really needs them the most is, first of all, pregnant women, okay, because their baby brains are growing. Nursing moms, because their brains are also growing, so that's how they give these nutrients through the breast milk. And then older people, because their brains are declining, so this prevents from Alzheimer's, dementia, memory loss. But you see, old people, they can't even swallow these soft gels. They can't, it's hard to swallow, impossible to digest and absorb. And this is just like dessert. Just take a spoon, and very easy to take for any age.
And there's 2 different flavors. They're both amazing. I think my favorite is the almond buttered chocolate.
That's my favorite too. But kids love the tangerine one.
The tangerine's good too.
Yeah, the children just love it. My son loves this one.
You have to say no more, honey.
Yeah.
Don't have 5 spoonfuls.
But the amazing thing about this, because it's so natural and it comes from nature, that you actually can't overdose. You can seriously take much more, like what
because
says
it's what
as
we're
a
made
serving
of.
size.
It's what
Yeah,
we're made of.
and more we take it, more better our brains will function, and our eyes will function. Our brain. It's the most powerful anti-inflammatory. This also delta tocotrienol is very good for inflammation. So in our wellness clinic, we sell a lot of turmeric because it's anti-inflammatory. But now we're getting better feedback with the delta tocotrienols. They say, this works even better for inflammation. And people just feel like no pain, and it's incredible.
I've been taking it for about a month now, and the pain that I had in the left side of my body from a car accident, I know the yoga that I've been doing lately is helping, but there was still some pain, and I am virtually pain-free right now. And this is probably the only thing I've been doing different. So I'm sure that has a big part to do with it.
I'm sure too. I hear like stories like this every day, and me too. I do a lot of yoga, and once in a while I'll tweak something, my wrist or here, my neck or something. And I used to feel it, and I don't feel like anything anymore, like no pain. It's so magical.
Well, I do a lot of stunts in my YouTube videos, and sometimes I fall, and I have my pink superhero cape, and I'll wipe out, and I get back up. I'm definitely going to need to take Synerchii before I go on my superhero missions, because it really does help you feel like a superhero, superpower.
Yes, it gives you more energy. I would like to just say a few things about it, but it really pretty much works on it, because DHA is the foundation of everything. It's like foundation of our hormones are made from. It's a precursor of hormones. It's like making the strongest foundation in a house, like when you want to build a house and you're gonna buy bricks or whatever, and you're gonna say, okay, so these are the most amazing, most expensive bricks, or these are the less, which ones you're gonna choose. So if you choose the most expensive, the most strongest, the most powerful ones, then your house is gonna last longer, and it's kind of the same way.
I love it. Well, and if you think about that, if you build the strongest foundation and maybe you invest more in that, it's going to support the rest of the house for much longer. You'll save money in the long run. You won't have to, tear things down or fix them later because it's on a strong foundation. The same goes for us. And it will save people money from not having to go to the doctor as much, by not having to take some of the prescriptions that maybe they won't need anymore. There's so many different benefits where they'll save money. And you think about how much people spend on their cappuccinos and their fancy drinks every day, but if they spent the same amount.
And this is actually way cheaper per day. It's way cheaper than one of the Starbucks. Exactly. And it's also very protective. What's interesting is they did a study where people, so I see a lot of patients who've been in car accidents, and there's a lot of car accidents right now outside. People drive crazy. So the people who take omega-3 oils, they concussions and things are much lighter. They did studies. It's very
if they were taking it before they got in the car accident?
Because it's like the cushion, this is our cushion, this is what it's made of. So it's like if you get hurt, you don't, it's almost like you had this fat protecting you. It's very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then I'm sure if they've been in the car accident, now they can take it. It'll help their body heal faster.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm so confused. I'm having a hard time focusing, and I'm depressed. This is so good for depression and anxiety, because it's like, and then people research, what can I do for my brain? And there is all these nootropics and B vitamins and all kind of mushrooms and all kind of, lion's mane mushroom and ginkgo biloba. What's for depression? But the thing is, you have to have like the foundation, the base first, and then you can start reconnecting synapses and making sure everything is connected and working good. But without the base, like if you don't have a strong wall, you can't put that, like you buy like $1 million painting, but if you don't have a strong wall, where are you going to put it?
It's like trying to make a taco without a tortilla.
Yeah, that's so
you got to
true.
start with something.
I love this. I always say so many analogies to my patients because they understand it better.
Right.
That's a good one.
We need to keep it simple, stupid sometimes.
Yes.
You can be the smart one, and then you can dumb it down for us so that we can understand, okay, this is what I need to do. Dr. Laura says that I'm going to do it.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you here, to feature you in Go Girl Worldwide magazine, to let all of my Go Girls out there know that you can improve your health and wellness for yourself first, like Dr. Lara said, but then for your children, for your husband, for your friends, your family, your parents, and spread the word. We need to spread health and wellness and goodness right now. And we're doing a special offer for Go Girls. It's a code, correct, that they would put in when they're at the shopping cart.
Yeah,
Go
so they
Girl
can go on the
15.
website, Synerchii.com. So Synerchii, chi is the life force, the energy, it's everything. Without the chi, the life force, you know, no matter, you can have the most beautiful body, but if you don't have the chi, the chi, it's like the foundational
and
energy.
you took the best products and you put the Synerchii together, and we just need to take it.
Yes, exactly. Supplements only work when you take them. I have so many patients that buy stuff and they're like, oh, I forgot to take it. Yeah, so Synerchii, CHII.com, and they use the code GoGirl15 and they will get 15% off of these amazing nutrients.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for creating this and making it easy for us to build a healthy foundation for our health. And thank you for being a Go Girl and an example of a mother and an entrepreneur and someone that, you know, helps so many people with your practice every day. Yet you still take time to have fun. You carve out that time. So you're a wonderful role model for all Go Girls out there. What would be something that you want to leave with our Go Girl viewers today, that maybe they have a passion for something, an interest, but fear or doubt is holding them back from going after their dream? What would you say to them?
Yeah, so the world really needs more go girls and just go people in general. You know, the world needs, you know, fear is one of the lowest vibrations. And what's happening in the world right now, people are living in fear.
Right.
And we need to stop living in fear, and we need to go for, you know, and choose. What I always say, like I was talking about upgrading, just start choosing the best energy. Don't be okay with something just doesn't feel good. You know, if you're gonna live in that frequency where something is not right, that's what you're gonna get. Whatever frequency you're on, that's what you're getting back. So start living in love, courage, you know, all the positive, beautiful, peace, joy. Joy is the highest frequency. Enough of fear, enough of, you know, and just go for it. Go for your goals as long as they are positive for you and feel good in your heart, you know?
Yes.
If they feel good in your heart, go for it and don't be afraid anymore. No more fear.
No more fear.
Love and joy.
Yes. I'm so thankful to, you know, we were friends, but I didn't know everything that you do, and to learn more about what you do. And now that we're teaming up to help get the word out, you know, and to help inspire Go Girls to be healthier, happier. It's just so much fun to have you in my life. So thank you so much for being here.
Aww.
And can't wait to create even more Synerchii together.
Yes, exactly.
You go, girl. Woo!